You're wondering why I'm standing inside. It's because outside it's blowing a gale and it's really cold. But that's a good thing because we're here to drive the second generation Range Rover Evoque. New engines, new chassis, heaps of new tech, there's heaps to get through. Let's get cracking.
The second generation Evoque might look a lot like an evolution of the old one and is built on an evolution of the same platform, but the body is all new apart from the door hinges. It's a smashing looking thing, even more faithful to the concept car that kicked it all off, the LRX from 2009. Yes, it looks like the Velar and the Discovery and the new Discovery Sport, but really, can you complain when they all look good? The Evoque's unique signature front guards have made a return and everything else has been smoothed or pumped. It's slightly longer, has a bigger boot and a longer wheelbase by 20mm. All of that has gone to extra rear legroom, which will please current owners with teenagers. There's a lot of new tech both included as well as on the options list. The two Clearview options are unsettling and brilliant at the same time. Clearview Ground makes the bonnet disappear so you can see what's going on in a tight space, and the Clearview Mirror uses a high-definition camera in the shark fin to give you a wide and distressingly detailed view of what's going on behind you. There are 3 diesels and 3 petrols, all made by Range Rover, which calls them Ingenium. Every Evoque also has all-wheel drive and a 9-speed automatic. You can choose from all 6 engines in the SE spec, and later in 2019, Range Rover will offer a plug-in hybrid with an electric-only range of about 30 k's. The diesels and P300 are mild hybrids. Unfortunately, the P200 and P250 are unavailable with the electric assistance because they come with a petrol particulate filter. Those things are incompatible with our cheap, sulphur-filled fuel.
So the P300, that's the top of the range engine. It is amazing out on the freeway. This car is dead quiet. The diesel's a little bit noisier, but not markedly so. And you're going to find the diesels are going to be noisier around town in the stop-start kind of stuff. But out here on the freeway, a little bit of a rustle, but those wing mirrors are bigger than a Volkswagen Beetle's door. So I think it's only right and proper they make a bit of noise. The engine itself is just a distant drone. The big thing for me in this car is the vast improvement in the 9-speed automatic. The 9-speed in the old car wasn't good. It was always looking for the right gear, but it seems to have settled down. Clearly some work's been done on the software to sort it out. And you know, this transmission is in other cars and is really not great, so you can really feel the calibration in this is quite good. So, I mean, if you can, get the P300 of course, but the P250 is a very nice engine. But in the other 2 petrol engines available here, you're not going to be able to get the mild hybrid. So the mild hybrid's quite clever. It runs off a belt on the front of the engine and the front side, engine goes across this way. So it could be anywhere. Let's find out at another time. And it returns power via the belt into the engine, so it gives you a little bit of extra torque. If there is any turbo lag, and there's not much on these engines in other cars that I've driven, it's pretty much smoothed out very nicely by the mild hybrid. It does add a little bit of weight to the car, but it does reduce fuel consumption. Around town and on the freeway, the ride is fantastic, and again, it's much better than the old car. The old car really was feeling its age towards the end of its life. I remember my wife saying to me, I think it's time for the Evoque to go. But no, this feels very solid, very authoritative on the road. I think that's something I can apply to this car. So, new interior. It's really nice in here. You can have the basic grain leather. You can step up to a very nice Windsor leather. That is super, super soft. It's really lovely stuff. I think that makes a difference. Does it make a $4,000 difference? Up to you. You can also get a vegan interior, which is made from Japanese eucalyptus trees, so you don't have to worry about any koala deforestation or anything like that. And it's a very, it's interesting. I've spoken to a lot of people over the years and they do want that non-leather interior, but most of them have just been either cloth or worse, that kind of wetsuit material that Honda uses. So that seems like a really nice interior. Most of it's new. So you can get the dual screen setup, which has the the sat-nav media type system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Very important. You don't have to pay for that. That's all part of the fun. And you can also get the second screen, which displays all the funky stuff. That's a $600 option. I reckon it's $600 well spent. It looks really cool. You know, you turn the car off and everything goes black. You turn it on, you got everything. One of the key things about this car is you've got more space. The rear seats, there's a lot more space in this car than the old car. It does feel a bit bigger, and I actually think it's reasonably larger, but it's not so much that you think, oh, it's a different car, or it doesn't feel as big as a Velar, for instance. So it's quite, still quite a small car, a good city car. Plenty of space to put all your stuff, like big door bins. You've got a nice big deep center console bin. Nowhere really to put your phone apart from in there, which is a little bit of an issue for me. Because if you're using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you do need to, CarPlay particularly, you need to run the USB. It's a really lovely interior, and it's really, really well made. This car looks really very nice indeed, and it feels nice. It smells good. You're paying decent money for these cars, but you do get that feel of luxury particularly when you've got the Windsor leather in it. It's very, very nice and worth a lot of money. And of course, it's got those trademark wide sills, which are good for elbows. And as I've discovered, as now a newly minted dog owner, having the dog likes having its head out the window.
The new Evoque continues on from the old, but in a more appealing, tech-laden package. I think it's even more beautiful than before, but it's also a bit more practical, better built, and I think funkier. And with the new mild hybrid and plug-in hybrid engines, a bit gentler on the planet.